the two pillars of Hercules, Gibraltar being one, and Mont Zabina the other one, the other side of the straits, you would fall off the edge of the earth. Not true, obviously, but it was a myth promoted by the Phoenicians because they did not want anybody going round the headland to pick up a mollusk which produced that strong Roman imperial purple. And it's called the Queen's Way because it was built for the one and only visit of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth in 1954. In 1953, this was water, okay? And we've been reclaiming land from the sea ever since. Now, there are height restrictions for building inside the town. There are no height restrictions outside the town. So sadly, we're changing completely the face of Gibraltar. Now, if you want to see something curious, just here to your right, you see all those containers? That's a new method of construction. It's prefabricated, they come ready, they just pile them together. Yeah. Chinese. Now just here to the left is the King's Bastion, and this is the first major construction the British did once they took it over to defend the whole of Gibraltar. This one is Wellington front, right, Wellington front, left. And you will notice they're all made with a local stone, which is Jurassic limestone or Portland stone. Just up here on the left, the texture of the wall changes. And the reason for that is those were the original Spanish walls. And all they've done is they've added to them with the British side. Now we're going to go into the town now via a gate called the Ragged Staff Gate. But if you look at the bottom of the gate, you've got upended cannons sticking out the ground. Any idea what those are for? It's to stop the horse carriages damaging the stonework.
Yes.
And the guns and the cannons are pirated French or Spanish cannons. Now directly in front of you, that wooded area, is Trafalgar Cemetery, and there lie the remains of the sailors who died of their wounds in the Battle of Trafalgar. Trafalgar is about 120 kilometers away from here, or a day's sail. Now, up till now, we've been driving outside the walls. Now we're driving on the walls. And everything to the right-hand side is a naval base. And you'll be able to appreciate the size of it once we travel up the rock and we look down. Now, during the Second World War, the British decided that the last thing they wanted here were civilians. So all women, children and the elderly were evacuated out of here. They were sent to Jamaica, Madeira, Northern Ireland and London. First families went out in 1939. The last family did not return till 1951. And the problem was, they said, no housing. Just here to the left, what we've just passed, were the houses built at the end of the war to be able to house Gibraltarians. Now Gibraltar is unique in that it has to be a mini station. We have to produce all our water, all our electricity. We have our own propaganda machine just here to the right. This is the local radio and TV station. And the reason for that is because of the enmity we've had with the Spaniards. We cannot rely on them to provide us with utilities because they could turn the tap off literally at any moment. So we have to produce and be ourselves. Now in London, you have Big Ben, don't you? Well, here you have little Tom. And this is the clock that used to fix and organize all the work in the dockyard. Just here, those vessels you can see there, they're in dry docks. And you'll be able to appreciate them once we go up the top and look down on them. Now, if you're naughty, you'll be brought here. Welcome to Gibraltar's police station, built in 1864. Now, just here to the right is one of the 6 largest ever guns built for the British Army. They're 100-ton guns, and they were steam-powered. 2 for here, 2 for Malta, 2 for the Italian Navy. And just there to the right is Africa. And the only reason why Gibraltar is important. That stretch of water, which is 43 kilometers long. Directly ahead of you is Spain. And beyond that headland there is the city and port of Tarifa. Do you know the English word tariff? It comes from there, because the Arabs used to charge a fee for vessels to pass in front of them. Okay, if we can all breathe in. Now, Gibraltar has 38 kilometers of road, but 52 kilometers of tunnel. The majority of it built during the Second World War. Now, there's Mont Zabila, the other pillar of Hercules. In fact, if you look at the Spanish flag, it's got the 2 pillars. One is Gibraltar, the other one is Mont Zabila. All the beaches on the western side, which this is, are all stony or rocky. All the beaches on the eastern side, the Mediterranean side, are all sandy. And just here to the left, you've got water gushing out of the rock. Don't get too excited, it's super salinated water. What it is we draw water from the sea, we send it to a distillery, convert it to fresh water, and the balance gets put back in the sea. So uniquely in Gibraltar you have 2 sets of water. You go to a tap, you have fresh water. You go to a toilet, you have salt water. You don't believe me? Try it. directly in front of you, that hillock just behind that ship is the Spanish enclave of Ceuta. And the mountains you can see in the distance are the Reef Mountains. So you're looking at about 200 kilometers away.
Lifeboat.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, you know you said about the ships in the water basically for work.
Yes.
Have you got shipping companies based in Gibraltar?
No, what we have here are shipping agents.
Oh yeah, okay.
But we are the biggest bunkering port of the Mediterranean. So lots and lots of vessels come in here, they fuel, and they go away. And we'll show you that as we go up the rock. You'll see the system we use for refueling. Thank goodness they're going down the hill. Okay, the wristbands which I have given you contain a barcode, which when we get to the cave you show to the machine and the machine will open up for you, okay? I can't hear you.
Do you have to pay?
You pay for the care home, you have to pay
No, they come within the state. These officers here are our port officers, and from there they control all the movements in the bay and in the straits. As far as health and social care is concerned, we run the same system as the UK. Medicine here is free at the point of delivery, and if you're a pensioner, all your prescriptions are free and all your treatment is free. Just over to the right is the best hotel in town, free board and lodging, gymnasium, sea views. Welcome to Gibraltar's jail. This is either the Bay of Gibraltar or the Bay of Algeciras.
Refueling, is that diesel?
Yeah, it's marine diesel. Although we're starting to do now LPG too as well. Because quite a few of the vessels are now changing to LPG, so we're doing that. Now directly below you is the airport.
So is there a line in the bay that delineates Spain from Gibraltar?
No, what there is a fictitious line which runs all the way. You see that Spanish mole there?
Yeah.
If you run all the way down there, you will find a yellow buoy out there.
Yeah.
That really is British Gibraltar territorial waters. But it's constantly being... The Spanish keep on coming into it. I mean, for instance, if I go out in my boat and I'm within British Gibraltar territorial waters and a Spanish boat comes to board me, Spanish police boat, asking for my documents, I just tell him to piss off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He may not like that, in which case I may find myself in Algeciras, but there we go. Now this is the oldest building we have here in Gibraltar. As you can see, the number of cannonball hits on the side of it. This was because of the greatest siege we have ever had here, from 1779 to 1783. Now just here to the left are the city's municipal water tanks, and if you can imagine 5 football pitches about 10 meters deep full of water. They're there, they gravity feed to town.
You have a desalination plant?
We have 3 desalination plants, 1 military, 2 civilian.
No other fresh water?
We used to collect fresh water, but it became so erratic that sometimes we had to bring in tankers with fresh water from Morocco.
Oh,
And it costs too much, you know what I mean? So it's cheaper to desalinate.